Welcome to Assembly News Now. This is multimedia editor Jennifer Pierce, and here's what's happening with product assembly on February 4th. Archer Aviation opens a new assembly plant. Honda unveils a new assembly line for solid-state EV batteries. A British company invents a reconfigurable mold for plastic parts. And for our top story, assembly plants get energy from the sun. And finally, thousands compete for manufacturing jobs at Hyundai. These Assembly News Now stories after a brief message from our sponsor, Motion Index Drives, a leading manufacturer of rotary, linear, and multi-axis precision indexing devices. Motion Index Drives. Rotary index tables, precision link conveyors, weld positioning systems, tool tray shuttles, robot transfer units, and much more through your customized specifications. Learn more at www.motionindexdrives.com. Archer Aviation has begun installing equipment at a new assembly plant in Covington, Georgia. Archer built the factory in partnership with Stellantis, and the two companies are cooperating to mass produce Archer's Midnight aircraft, an electric air taxi that can carry 4 passengers and a pilot. Production is set to begin early this year, and the company plans to make 2 airplanes per month by the end of the year. Archer hopes to assemble 650 aircraft annually by 2030. Honda has unveiled a demonstration assembly line to produce a new solid-state battery for EVs. The line has all the processes needed to mass-produce batteries, including weighing and mixing electrode materials, coating and pressing electrodes, forming cells, and assembling modules. The line is based on the process for making lithium-ion batteries. It includes a new roll pressing technique that increases the density of the solid electrolyte layers in each battery. Honda hopes the line will output batteries faster and less expensively than current methods. Honda could begin mass producing the new batteries as soon as 2026. British startup Fuse has invented an infinitely reusable mold. The company's polymorphic molding technology can shape shift in less than 20 minutes. It can make usable plastic parts 14 times faster than 3D printing. The mold consists of more than 28,000 densely packed pens that can be individually positioned to create a 3-dimensional shape. Once the pens are in position, the mold can withstand 6 tons of pressure. The mold is created from a 3D CAD model of the part. It can be used for any process that requires a mold, such as vacuum forming, foam casting, or composite layup. And now for today's top story. An automotive assembly plant can consume several 100,000 megawatt hours of electricity annually. That's comparable to the power consumption of a medium-sized town. The welding, stamping, and painting lines in particular consume massive amounts of electricity. To cut costs, car factories are increasingly implementing alternative energy. Here to tell us more is Chief Editor John Sprovieri. John?
Thanks, Jennifer. The EV revolution is not merely a fashionable trend. It reflects a growing desire within the auto industry to be more sustainable. Many car factories are now getting much of their electricity from renewable sources like wind and solar. For example, Ford's assembly plants in South Africa and Thailand get a significant portion of their electricity from solar panels mounted to canopies in parking lots. The canopies protect finished vehicles from rain and heat while also generating power. The canopies supply 20% of the electricity needed to produce a pickup truck. This means that 21,000 trucks per year can be assembled using only solar power. Ultimately, Ford wants all of the electricities for its factories worldwide to come from carbon-free sources by 2035. Already, 70% of that power comes from renewables. General Motors, too, wants to reduce its carbon footprint. Last fall, the company signed a 15-year agreement to purchase solar power from North Star Clean Energy. GM will use the power to run 2 factories in Michigan and 1 in Missouri. Toyota's factory in Huntsville, Alabama, gets 70% of its power from an on-site solar farm, and the company's factory in Georgetown, Kentucky, gets much of its power from a nearby solar farm that, ironically, is built on a retired coal mine. It's not just OEMs that are investing in solar energy, their suppliers are too. For example, Nextier Automotive recently installed more than 17,000 solar panels at its factory in Saginaw, Michigan. The panels will lower the company's greenhouse gas emissions by 7,000 metric tons annually, the equivalent to saving 780,000 gallons of gasoline per year. Back to you, Jennifer.
Thanks, John. And finally, in January, Hyundai announced that it was hiring hundreds of workers for three of its assembly plants in Korea. More than 120,000 people applied online for just 400 jobs, causing the website to crash the day it opened. At Hyundai, the starting salary for assemblers is $52,000. The jobs are among the highest paying entry level positions in the country. Indeed, the average salary of entry level workers is just $31,000. Once labeled dirty, difficult, and dangerous, manufacturing jobs are now considered highly desirable in Korea. In fact, a recent poll asked Koreans what they would prefer to be: an auto worker with a high school diploma earning a good salary, or an office worker with a liberal arts degree earning less. 76% chose the automotive job. Imagine that. That's all for this edition of Assembly News Now. For all the latest news on assembly technology, visit assemblymag.com and follow us on social media. Thanks for watching, and tune in next month for another installment of Assembly News Now.